Hello fellow anglers and outdoor adventurers, your old friend and fishing guide is here, ready to dive into what promises to be an absolutely fascinating day on the water. We're talking about Wednesday, the 24th of September, 2025 year. Why is this day so special, you ask? Because, my friends, it's a prime example of New Zealand's beautiful yet sometimes tricky spring fishing. We're right on the cusp of truly explosive action, and I've got some amazing insights that will help you make the most of it. Let's get straight to the good stuff. What's biting and how to catch 'em? Brown trout and rainbow trout, freshwater lakes and river mouths. Where to look? This time of year, many rivers are still closed for spawning, but the lakes, they're absolutely alive. Think about those lake edges and river mouths, especially in the larger systems like Lake Taupo and Rotorua in the North Island, or the stunning southern lakes in the South Island. Fish are recovering from their spawning efforts, and guess what? They're incredibly hungry and looking to pack on condition. The water is warming up, so they'll be more active near the surface and along drop-offs where food is abundant. Focus on areas where tributaries flow into the lakes, bringing in nutrients and smaller bait fish. What to use? For trout, friends, this is prime time for streamers and nymphs. Think about weighted nymphs that can get down to where those hungry fish are lurking. My go-to would be a size 14 to 16 pheasant tail or a hare's ear nymph. For streamers, something in olive or black, like a woolly bugger in a size 6 or 8, will often get their attention. If you're spin fishing, small, soft baits in natural colors, or classic Toby and Zed spinners worked slowly along those lake edges can be deadly. Early mornings and late afternoons will be your golden hours. Snapper, saltwater, inshore. Where to look? As spring progresses, snapper are starting to move back into inshore waters in greater numbers. Look for them around shallow reefs, weed lines and sandy bottoms in areas like the Hauraki Gulf, Bay of Plenty, and even some of the more sheltered bays in the South Island, although the North Island will be more consistent. They'll be on the hunt for baitfish and crustaceans as the water slowly warms up. Don't be afraid to try some deeper channels near the coast. What to use? For snapper, soft baits are king. A 5-inch jerk shad in a pilchard or natural baitfish pattern, fished on a 1/2 to 1 ounce jig head, is a proven winner. Keep your retrieve slow and steady with plenty of pauses. Burley will be your best friend to draw them in. If you prefer bait, pilchards, squid, or fresh kahawai fillets fished on a ledger rig will also be highly effective. Kingfish, saltwater, inshore, offshore. Where to look? The kingfish hotspots are definitely starting to fire up in spring. These hard-fighting beasts will be in hot pursuit of baitfish. Look for workups of birds, seals, and dolphins offshore, but also target prominent headlands, current lines, and deeper reef structures closer to shore. The Hauraki Gulf is a prime example of where the pilchards are thick, kicking the food chain into high gear. What to use? Kingfish demand robust gear. Live baits like kahawai, mackerel, or pilchards fished under a balloon or slow-trolled are incredibly effective. If you're into lure fishing, stick baits and poppers around structure, or heavy jigs dropped vertically into bait schools or over reefs will get their attention. Make sure your drags are set correctly, my friends, because these fish will test your tackle to its limits. Now for the conditions that are shaping our fishing day. Weather. September 24th sees New Zealand in its glorious yet sometimes fickle spring. You can expect mild temperatures ranging from around 6 to 17 degrees Celsius in the North Island and potentially colder from 1 to 13 degrees Celsius in the South Island, especially in the mornings. There's still a chance of those refreshing wintry cool breezes and some scattered rain showers, so be prepared for anything. Atmospheric pressure might be a bit unstable with these changing conditions, which can make the fish a little on and off. Always pack those waterproofs, friends. Water temperature. In the saltwater, expect temperatures to be cool but gradually warming. Around 15 degrees Celsius in northern coastal waters, but considerably cooler, perhaps 10 to 12 degrees Celsius down south. This warming trend is a major factor in getting those fish active after winter. In freshwater, lakes and rivers are steadily increasing in temperature too, signaling go time for trout after their spawning season. Moon phase. On Wednesday, the 24th of September, we'll be under a waxing crescent moon, about 2 to 3 days old, with a low illumination of around 7 to 11%. While some anglers prefer a fuller moon, this early waxing phase, coupled with the low ocean tide, means less extreme tidal movement. This can sometimes lead to more consistent feeding patterns during the shorter slack periods. It's a subtle influence, but every little bit counts. General activity of fish. Overall, my friends, the fish are shaking off their winter sluggishness and getting seriously hungry. Spring in New Zealand means a surge in biological activity. Trout are recovering and gorging themselves, while saltwater species are moving inshore. You'll find a mix of active feeders and some more cautious fish, especially if the weather is unsettled. It's a season of transition, full of promise and opportunity. Given all these factors, the warming waters, the post-spawning hunger of trout, and the return of inshore saltwater species, despite the potentially changeable spring weather, I'd give the fishing a solid good to very good rating for September 24th. Expect active periods, especially around dawn and dusk, and be ready to adapt to the conditions. The fish are there, they're hungry, and they're waiting for your perfectly presented bait or lure. All right, my fishing family, that's my forecast for this exciting day. I wish you all tight lines and truly epic catches out there. If this video helped you, please hit that like button, subscribe for more forecasts and tips, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. And tell me in the comments below, what are you planning to target this week? What's your secret weapon for spring fishing in New Zealand? Share your wisdom, and let's keep this awesome community thriving. Until next time, happy fishing, everyone.